Have friends that tell you the truth.
Yeah.
Don't surround yourself with yes people. Have other people in their go years, because it also does get lonelier at the top. I think that's a cliche, but it's a cliche for a reason. There's fewer people who can empathize, and I understand why.
Yeah.
Like I'll tell a friend, oh, I had a failed launch. I made 200K. And it sounds so stupid. It sounds so out of touch. So you do have to surround yourself with other people who are like, they can get it.
I'm so happy you're here. You've been here so many times.
I know.
But this one's different.
It is different. This is like a retrospective today.
It is.
It's going to be full.
We're celebrating you hitting your first $1 million year. That is crazy.
Especially because, I mean, we've said this before, but like I came in at 30K being like, I'm going to hit 1 million.
Yes.
And that was what, 2021?
Yes. And it's 2025. Let's set the scene. Let's like start there. Set the
Hello,
scene.
everybody.
Why are you here?
Hello, everybody.
Who are you?
My name is Gina Knox. I am a financial coach for business owners. And I started working with Kirsten in 2021, June 2021. So actually this is like, we're in June right now. And let's see, I think that's it.
Yeah. And for those who don't know, I've interviewed Gina on the podcast so many times, but this one we wanted it to be different because of course we're celebrating your $1 million year. Yeah. And we've talked about like, as you went, every milestone we had you on the podcast, like your first 6-figure year and then 500K year. And like we've hit all those milestones. And I really wanted this episode to like show the things that I feel like only I, as your coach, have seen, or the things that your friends have seen. Because let's be real, Gina, you're so like polished, rich, wealthy. Everyone knows you as the money queen. I mean, literally money's mom.
Yes, money's mom.
And we'll talk about that and how I had to drag her, y'all, to want to make money because she's already naturally wealthy. She's already naturally wealthy. But like, I feel like people see that side of you, but you actually went through a lot as you were building this $1 million business. So I want to make sure we touch on that today.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
I want to start with just setting the scene though, for those that don't know. How did you come to me? How did you start? Like, where were you? Like, give us the whole picture of where you were.
Yeah. Okay. So I started my business in 2020, as a lot of us did. And it was a side hustle. I used to commute 100 miles a day from Richmond to Mountain View, California. And I was working at QuickBooks full-time as a small business researcher. And so I was building this business like in the nooks and crannies because I had, I was on the road for 3-4 hours a day. And then at that time, in 2019, 2020, I started working on a team that was working with India. So the Indian developer team. And for those of you who don't know, India and California are 12 hours apart. So there's no overlapping working hours whatsoever. So I would come into the office at 6 a.m. I would leave my house at 5, get there at 6:30, have meetings with India at 7 in the morning because it was 7 p.m. their time. I would leave the office at 3 to beat some of the traffic, but even by then traffic was starting, get home, have dinner, and then 7-8 o'clock p.m. would have other meetings with India because then it's 7-8 a.m. their time. So we would only have 2 available check-ins a day because of this insane schedule. So it was like intense, as you can imagine. And in 2020, when the lockdown happened, I got 3 hours back. And that was like huge.
Yeah.
I was still working with India, but I got 3 hours back and I was like, okay, I'm going to start taking this business more seriously. Cause actually, technically I started it in 2019. But I made $200 that year. Like it was nothing. Yeah. So 2020, I'm like, okay, I'm going to take it seriously. I'm at home. We're all in the house and, started a million things. I tried one-on-one and like courses and just like a lot of stuff. And, in July, I got pregnant. Of 2020. And then at that same time, my husband and I were living at home with my parents. And my sister-in-law was living with us. All together with my parents. And I was pregnant and my dad had been diagnosed with cancer many, many, many years ago, but we were dealing with that. He had retired a couple years earlier and his disease was progressing. So he was just declining a lot. And let's see, we moved out that August. So I got pregnant when we closed on our house. Like we went into escrow and found out I was pregnant in the same week.
Oh, wow.
Which was not great because the house we bought was not baby friendly. It was like child-free house. It was a artist loft with spiral staircases and ladders and an industrial elevator that you could drive an SUV into this elevator, and it had one of those big cranks.
Oh, wow.
Like it was not baby friendly. So we were like, okay, we're going to stay here for a while. And then in 2021, my dad passed away in February, and then I gave birth in April. And then I was on bereavement leave and then maternity leave. And I like think I blacked out.
I was going to say, I'm like, why would you build your business at that time?
I think it seemed like one of the things that was bringing me a lot of joy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
My daughter was a good baby. I would say she was like we had no problems with breastfeeding. She had no health issues. Thank God. She was a relatively good sleeper. My husband would tell you otherwise, but I think, I was doing some research. When you're postpartum, the woman's hormones change, and our sleep cycles are generally 2 hours, and the hormones change your sleep cycles to be 90 minutes to match the baby. Oh, wow. Which is so I didn't feel as tired as my husband did. Anyway, so
he's like, what are you talking about?
I'm dealing with the grief, and I have the baby, and she's relatively good. And I just was like, okay, well, for a long time, I sat on the couch and watched Grey's Anatomy while nursing when she was a really baby. But then around when I started working with you around June, I was like, okay, I want to like get back into it. And I don't want to go back to my job because I'm like, okay, we're still in the pandemic. No one is commuting yet, but they're going to make people go back to work one day. And how am I going to commute 100 miles a day and have a baby? Like I was leaving the house before at 5 a.m. So you mean I'm going to leave my baby at home at 5 a.m. and then somehow my husband's going to deal with her and he has to commute too eventually. I'm like, that's not going to work. Like there's just unless we move down to where my work was, which is one of the most expensive areas in the Bay Area. But then my husband has to commute it's not going to work. So I think I had a lot of motivation to quit. And right before I worked with you, I did a birthday launch and it didn't go well. I think I made like $8,000. It didn't go well. And it was really complicated. We did like every day the price went up by $100 or whatever. So the systems were insane. It was not fun. And somebody recommended you because I was like, I want to build a funnel. I want to build a funnel.
Because at the time I was the funnels queen.
Because funnels are going to fix it because I have a baby and I'm busy and funnels are going to fix it. So that's how I came to know you. Someone mentioned your name and wow. It's good they did.
There's so much in there that I didn't even know. That's like so good. Yeah. Like I didn't know about like the India time zones.
Oh my God.
Or any of that. Or even I didn't even think about I knew that because when I met you at that point, you were already selling that house, which I want to talk about because you were selling it, or maybe you had just sold it because you were headed to Texas.
That's right.
Like right away.
We were about to sell it.
Yeah. Yes, you were about to sell it. So I didn't even know like, oh yeah, of course it's not baby friendly, et cetera. You also had a really good job. So you did have motivation to quit. Yeah. But you also had a very good job.
I had it's the golden handcuffs.
Right.
Is what they call it. Right. I got promoted while I was on maternity leave. Yeah. They promoted me. I was making 150 base plus equity, which was probably it depended. I was getting another 20 to 50K a year through equity plus 401k matching. For every dollar I put in, they gave me $1.25 plus health insurance. Like my health insurance was so good. My bill for giving birth was $21,000 and I paid $100. Wow. So I'm like, it was all the things. So I did have a hard time. I remember we talked about this a lot. Like the idea I wanted to match that before I quit. Yeah. And I had to let go of that. Yeah. Because I would have never quit if I tried to match what I was making.
And then you ended up matching it in a few months.
Well,
something like that, right?
No, probably I'm matching it. I'm above it now.
Cash. But that's right. It was sales.
In terms of, I was matching in terms of like my take home pay, but I wasn't making up for all the benefits yet.
Right.
But again, I'm like, I had to get over, like there was going to be a period of time where I wasn't going to make as much as an individual. And I was willing to sacrifice that to make way more later. And now I'm making more than a VP. And I would have never been VP.
Yeah.
Ever.
I want to like zone in on like that moment.
Yeah.
Because it's so easy to be like, I just had a baby.
Yeah.
I'm going through grief.
Yeah.
I'm moving. And
Yeah.
you didn't just sell your house. You also moved different states.
And we moved states before our house sold.
That too. Right? Like I'm like, that's a lot of transition.
Yeah.
And then to be like, and now I'm going to choose to make less money for a period of time.
Yeah.
Because I trust.
Yeah.
How? Like, tell us the mindset. Like, what was the...
Okay, so
if you had to pinpoint that, like, why would someone make that decision?
There's a couple of things. I think I have a really supportive partner.
Yeah.
My husband is really supportive. And when we got married, I told him, I was like, you better make a lot of money because I'm going to be a stay-at-home mom.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which, curveball, I'm not a stay-at-home mom. But he's not like overtly, I'm the provider. He doesn't have that mentality, but he's going to hold it down.
Yeah.
So I had a really good partner. And not only is he good at providing financially, like he's actually a partner.
Yeah.
I don't have to leave him with a list to take care of the baby.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. Right. So I can't overstate how important that was in the decision making. And then also I have assets to fall back on. So I'm like, okay, if my cash flow monthly is lower from Gina, the personal side, well, I have assets to fall back on if I really need to. And moving states did lower our cost of living. And we moved to Texas, which has no income tax. So there were ways. But I think for me, it was like, okay, my take-home pay from the business is now paying the bills and I can increase it relatively soon. And like, I'll be okay.
Yeah.
I think that was a thought probably. Yeah, I'll be okay.
I'll be okay.
And also I'm like, there was a period of time where my maternity leave ended. I was in Texas. I went back to work. I had a baby with me. We had no nanny. We had no daycare. The baby was at home with me. My desk was in her nursery because we only had a 2-bedroom apartment. And I was working and the business was on the side. This was like November 2021. And I was like, oh yeah, this is not going to work. Yeah. I just didn't want to be it. I didn't want to be back in it. I was like on these meetings about, our roadmap and whatever. And I was like checking out hard. So
I remember when you went back and I remember you being like, I want to quit right now. And I was like, you don't have to like, collect your check for now. But then you were like, no, like there's no reason for me right now. Also,
I was coasting so hard. Like Paul even jokes about it to this day. He's like, you weren't working. You were taking the baby on a walk at 10 a.m. I'm like, okay. 10 a.m. Texas time is 8 a.m. California time. Thank you very much.
I'll be okay is really good though, because I actually, when you said that immediately, I was like, oh, that's my thought too. Yeah. Whenever I take big risk, but even when I'm not in that same position, because I think that's important to know, because it's easy to be like, oh, of course, like I'll be okay because you're in that position. But I've not been in the financial position, emotional position, whatever before. And I've still had the thought I'll be okay. That's a thought you can have no matter what. Yeah. So I think that's really good.
I mean, just your like entire road trip that year going to see your family in Florida. Yeah. If you haven't seen, there's videos on the internet.
On the internet.
Kirsten crying. Outside of the RV. Just telling herself she'll be okay.
Literally. No, that is so true. And I had credit cards maxing, family in the hospital. And I was like, I'm going to be okay. I will be okay. So you had so much support during that time. What was the hardest part about building your business at that time?
I think for me, it's easier to compartmentalize. Yeah. So I think it was, you hear my dad died, I had a baby and like all that stuff happened and we moved states. I have an easy time compartmentalizing all of that. Yeah. And I think for me, the hardest thing was the frustration of like, I wanted this to happen faster, actually. So good. I was really like, come on, I want it to happen faster.
So good.
Because I don't know, because I just I just wanted it. Yeah. And I had a lot of frustration, a lot of like, okay, come on. A lot.
I remember, I will never forget, and I always talk about it, your application when you were like, I have a 5-figure business with a 7-figure mindset. Why haven't I made 7 figures yet?
Come on.
And I remember that so vividly. Yeah. And It's so true. Like the rush that we put ourselves in. And I'm very similar to you where I'm like, oh yeah, that all happened. Yes. But really, I just wanted everything. I just wanted success right away.
Yeah.
So I have so many questions. One, how did you sit in that? Like, how did you get through that? Because it did take you from the time we started working together, it was 3 years, I believe, right? 3 years total until you hit $1 million.
Oh, yes. Okay. My frustration was less about $1 million right then. My frustration was about quitting.
Yes.
My frustration was that I want to go full time. And also like all of my friends were full time.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm the only one with a job.
Yeah.
Right. And getting to $1 million, I think at the beginning, I was like, I really want this. And then I realized like, okay, I need to take the slow road. Something that we used to say in corporate a lot was go slow to go fast. Like going slow is going fast.
Yeah.
And if I look back, it's been incredibly fast. I mean, so we started working together in June. I put in my notice in December of that year.
Yeah. It was really fast.
That's really fast. That
and
is
you hit your first 6-figure year that year too.
And I like joined, the first half of 2021, I made 30,000. The second half I made like 85.
Yeah.
It was really fast.
Yeah.
And then I have doubled every year since. And that's insane.
Yeah.
Like in the startup world, that's hyper growth. That's actually untenable. So I've always like done things that people may see as slow. Like even today, we can talk about what I do today, which I still have people down my neck about certain things. Like I still do my own bookkeeping, for example, right?
Yeah,
like I do a lot of things in my business that are slow.
Yeah.
But they help me go really fast. So I think at that time, like I had to lean into, now it's easy to say in hindsight, but at that time I had to lean into, if I try to skip ahead, because I had tried before to skip ahead, I will miss big lessons and then I will have to go back and fix it. And that will be way slower than just going the slow way.
Yeah.
Way slower. So I had to really get myself there. And then again, excuse me, then it did happen really fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that is the biggest thing and frustration that clients have when I'm coaching them is when I am slowing them down.
Yeah.
And I remember with you specifically, one of the first things we slowed down on was you came to me for funnels. You're like, I just need leads. I just need leads. And I'm like, slow down. You need conversions.
Yeah.
Like we have to start here.
Yeah.
And that is, and I even as a client with my own coaches and consultants, I get frustrated at like, no, slow down. You got to go here. But it's so true. The moment you actually do, it does actually go faster. It's like counterintuitive.
It's very counterintuitive.
But it goes faster.
But it makes sense if you just put it that way. Like, right? Like you have to solve the right problem in the right order. And if you don't, you're going to have to go back.
Yeah. Yeah.
And going back, you lose momentum. You have a confidence hit. You have frustration. And all of that will slow you down so much more.
Yeah.
So much more. Well, have you ever had to slow down?
Have I ever
because
had to
you
slow down?
had a really, like as a side hustler, you made a lot of money as a side hustler.
I did.
You walked in and got fast.
I had a 300K plus business as a side hustler. Yeah.
And that's like pretty fast.
Did I have to slow down? Absolutely. Actually, funny enough, in 2021, when you had hired me was at a pivotal point in my own business because I had to slow down because I had a huge part of my story is the burnout that I experienced in 2020 from scaling, not even just scaling super fast. It was that I did it all out of order, hired the wrong team members at the wrong time, got employees when I didn't need employees, did all these different things, had too many offers, the wrong pricing, everything. And I was trying to just do anything I could to make money, to your point. And then I had to slow down and be like, okay, wait. What are my offers? What is my service delivery? What am I trying to be known for? What am I? And that RV era, which is actually when you signed up with me, funny enough, was when I had actually said, I'm going to be okay, even if I don't make any money this month.
Yeah.
I'm going to be, and I wasn't okay, y'all. Like I was not okay.
It's not okay.
Maxing out on credit cards. My husband at that time was going through unemployment from an unexpected job loss. Like several things were happening. Our family was in the hospital. We had to go all the way to Florida from Utah at that time to take care of that. It was like, I was not okay, but I had to be like, I'm okay.
Yeah.
And how I actually slowed myself down was I forced myself to sell one-on-one coaching for a year.
After being a highly successful agency owner.
Highly successful agency owner and highly successful at selling group programs, memberships, all the things. VIP days. Like I had sold everything. I was doing all these group scaling offers. And then I had really been like, you know what? No, I'm doing one-on-one coaching until I solve all the financial stuff that I need to solve.
Okay, wait, can we talk about something? Because you went through pretty intense burnout. And I think there's two things. One, I wonder if it's like trying to skip ahead to the fancy business. It's kind of what we were saying earlier, right? You skipped all these lessons. You had all these problems you had to go back and solve. I wonder if trying to skip ahead is correlated with burnout.
Oh, yes. 100%. No, 100%. Because it's exactly what you said. It's that you're making bigger mistakes.
Right. The stakes are higher.
The mistakes are much higher. And then you have to, I mean, I went from 50K months to 0K in recurring revenue because I was skipping.
Yeah.
Right. And it's definitely the mistakes are much wider and bigger and higher and all the things. Yeah. And that absolutely causes burnout because then you're like, I mean, I remember being at 50K months and being like, I went from a side hustler in healthcare who never made that kind of money.
Right.
Like that does something to you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When you don't know how to actually sustain it and you haven't built a business that can sustain it.
Well, also to the money side of things, right? It's like, okay, I'm making 50K months, but I have to keep making 50K months because my bills are all the way up there.
Because my bills are so high.
Yeah.
And my pressure is so high. And now my ego is high and I have to maintain my reputation and all this stuff. And that all causes burnout. All of it.
Okay. So that was number one. Number two, not to like, glaze you up or whatever, but you are a really good coach while going through all of that.
Yeah.
A lot of people like with the burnout, it's like, I shut it all down.
Yes.
Finish it all. And I want to say, when I signed up with you, I had no idea all that was happening.
Yeah.
And you kind of like, I don't think it was like hiding things from clients, but there was a separation that I think was helpful because we just we as in your first clients, because we had a little group. Yeah. We looked up to you so much and we had no idea all this was going on because you were a good coach.
Yeah. So
how do you coach clean or just help your clients when you're dealing with all of that too in the background?
I stopped looking at work as burnout. Honestly, because I wasn't looking at my clients, and before I was, which is what made me burn out so bad, I was like, my clients are hurting me and they're mean to me and all these things. And I resented them when I actually was like, no. Having clients is healing. Having clients helps me. First of all, the logistical side. If I don't have clients, I don't have money. And if I don't have money, I'm going to be burned out because I have no money. And then maybe I have to go back to a 9-to-5 and then whatever. So there's that.
In healthcare in a pandemic.
Hello. And so there's that. And so there's a logistical, client equals money. I'm going to like that I have that. Right. But also it was honestly just being not working and stopping my job or going back to a 9-to-5 for more consistency or whatever is not going to heal me.
Yeah.
The only thing that's going to heal me is if I change my mindset around business.
I think too, you had a lot of, I remember a couple of days, right? You would join our calls from the couch or in your pajamas or just you had you let go of a lot of maybe perfectionism or professionalism. And you coached me on that too, because I had a baby at home.
Yes.
And you told me to do one-on-one coaching.
Sure did.
With a baby at home.
Sure did.
With a full-time job. No, because around that time, October, November, you're like, oh no, it was October.
Yeah.
You got to go back to one-on-one coaching, Gina.
Yeah.
I'm like, you don't understand.
Yeah. Yep.
But I think that a lot of those lessons that you probably had to learn, you taught to us as well.
Yeah. I knew a lot of it, especially with your specific situation around one-to-one, I knew a lot of it was the rush and the ego. Yeah. And then the time stuff with parenting and stuff we can solve. Everybody has time constraints. Yeah. So I was like, but I knew that so much of it was ego, which is what I had to coach myself so much on. Yeah. But I also knew from a business standpoint, I'm like, it doesn't make sense for you to try to replace your salary with a little group program.
That's not
full and that you have not filled in all the year or 2 years that you've been trying to fill it why are you working so hard? Like, this is just math at this point.
Right.
And so for me, I think, doing that work on myself is what helped, because let's get into this. So many people will rush and they want to do a scalable offer, for example, or and they're like, because that, what are you thinking?
A scalable offer isn't scalable if you don't have scale.
Exactly. Exactly. I'm like, you literally are not, you are just doing one-to-one work for less money.
Yeah.
Because I tell my clients, I'm like, you're getting 3 to 5, maybe 10 people in a group. That is not worth the money. No. Like, it's not. And so I'm just like, you just have 10 one-on-one clients, basically. And so, but you're not getting paid one-on-one money. And so for me, I'm like, so many people, they think they have this burnout proof business because it's a group, or that they're going to avoid burnout because it's a group. I'm like, no, group will burn you out more if you have basically 10 one-on-one clients as opposed to an actual scaled group. So I think it was a lot of that too, like my own lesson in that. Yeah. And I just wanted you all to be able to skip that.
And we did.
And you did.
And we did, thankfully.
Yeah. Yeah. I want to know, you built, let's go over the overall journey. So 6 figures in the first year that we worked together. Next year was how much?
273.
Next year was how much?
525.
And then
$1 million. Well, not quite. I didn't quite hit it. I had to tell myself.
Okay.
In the calendar year of 2024, I did 922. I hit $1 million by that February.
12 months.
12 months. Yeah.
Yeah, totally. So for me, I'm like,
don't
discount yourself. Don't discount yourself. So
I like to be accurate with numbers, Kirsten.
There's so many good things you did. Like, we've talked about this on the podcast before. You started focusing on email marketing and team and systems and all of that.
Yeah.
But I want to know, what do you feel like was a mistake you made during that time?
Throughout the entire time?
Yeah.
What mistakes did I make? Plenty. I did everything perfectly, and I'm a perfect person.
Exactly.
And there's nothing wrong with me. Is it during the time because I made a big mistake before I worked with you.
Yeah.
That was going back to like, I want leads. I want leads. I want to go fast. I invested $10K in an ads mastermind when I
had no business.
No business. And then I spent like $4,000 more on ads in that time. And I made like, I don't know, maybe 4,000 back. So that was really bad. Ironically, last year, I still have access to that curriculum from that mastermind because it's like evergreen or like lifetime access curriculum. I went back and I got a huge ROI on that curriculum now, which was crazy and so fun. But it also like goes to show like the right problem at the right time will make you money, but the wrong problem at the wrong time will not. It will set you back. I think I'm trying to think of like do you have a big mistake in mind? Because here's my thing. I really feel like I skipped a lot of big, major mistakes just by listening to my coaches. Like truly. And I reflected that to you multiple times where I'm like listening to on the calls, listening to other people get coached. And I'm like, wow, well, I didn't have to go through that because I just like, I started working with the right coach at the right time and I listened.
Yeah.
And I have an entire podcast episode about it, Disagree and Commit, where I really strive to just listen to my coaches. And I think that that's really served me well. Like I've missed a lot of mistakes.
Yeah.
Now that doesn't mean I haven't made any mistakes. I've launched at the wrong time. I've done email poorly. I've hired the wrong people. I've wasted money. I've tried to outsource before I was ready. I've not given my team feedback when I should have given them feedback and been sterner or just like more clear about like, we need to hit these deadlines, right? Like, so there's been a lot of like the growing pains, but I don't know if there's been a big major mistake. Do you think
actually, what you just said is perfect. Growing pains is more what I'm going for.
Yes.
Because something that was big in our coaching relationship was at first you were like, I want to make money, of course. Like I want to be able to match my income, replace my salary, but I don't want a big business. I don't even know if I want $1 million business.
Yeah.
I don't. And so I want to know, let's like go back to there.
Yeah.
What Where are you at now? Why was that? Where are you at now?
Because like when we started, I'm like, $1 million business.
Yes.
And then I was
and
like,
then you got out of the rush.
And then I'm like, oh, okay. This is a lot of things and a lot of work to get to $1 million business. So I think for a while around 200K to 500K, I'm like, this is cute. This is nice. This is profitable.
Yeah.
I'm getting paid well. You do have to decide to go for it. I don't think you can accidentally make $1 million business in the coaching industry.
No.
You really got to decide to go for it. And you have to decide like at the beginning of the year or the year prior and like prepare yourself to go through that. Again, it doesn't like, I haven't met anyone who's like, I decided to have $1 million year in June of that year and then hit it.
Yeah.
No, you have to decide ahead of time. But I think it comes back for me to like client results and what is the impact I want to have with this business. And I just want more people to have the results that my clients are getting.
Yeah.
Because if I'm not anchoring in on that, it's easy to give up.
Yeah.
It's really easy to give up, especially for me, because I'm like, I don't need to make $1 million. That was actually my biggest thought all year for my $1 million year was like, I had to fight that thought a lot.
It's interesting because for some people that can be helpful, like they like because it releases pressure.
Yeah.
But for you, it would almost kind of like make you disengage.
It creates apathy.
And create apathy.
Yeah.
How do you overcome apathy in business and like lack of motivation? Because I noticed with you, it was every launch I would, for example, I would be like, you have to keep going, keep selling. And you'd be like, I don't need to though.
I'd fizzle out.
You fizzle out and you're like, I don't need to, I'm fine. And a lot of it is, yes, you can rely on your investments, but I think a lot of people relate to that, that like, yeah, but I don't need to, like, I'll be fine. My bills will be paid. Like, how do you overcome that?
Yeah.
Because it's so easy to like, when you don't need to, why would you want to?
Yeah. I think you have to answer that question. You have to have a reason for why you want to.
Yeah.
I guess for me, it's a couple things. The client results and the client impact, 100%. But also, okay, if you're fizzling out in a launch because you're like, I don't need the money. I don't need $1 million. It's because you don't want, and by you, I mean me, you don't want the discomfort of like pushing through the end of the launch. You don't want the discomfort of like maybe being disappointed. And I'm like, yeah, but you're going to be uncomfortable or disappointed regardless of if you fizzle out.
Yeah.
Right. So like, you're never going to be able to avoid feelings.
Yeah.
And by fizzling out or by saying, I don't really need $1 million, I'm just trying to avoid feelings, but feelings will come no matter what.
Yeah. And effort is not the same as exhaustion.
Right.
And people don't realize that.
Right.
I'm like, launches take effort.
Yeah.
Things take effort. It doesn't mean it's exhaustion. And the only thing that causes exhaustion is your thoughts about the effort that you're making.
Yeah.
So whenever you're like, this isn't worth the effort, or this is so hard, or this, or I don't want to be doing this, that's what creates exhaustion. It's not the effort itself.
Yeah.
And my answer to why I want to make more money, and I've coached you on this before, and I always tell my clients this, I'm like, why, when they're like, why would I need to make more money? I'm like, because it's your job. Because you're a CEO.
Because your company has to make more money.
And your company has to make money.
Yeah.
And when people are like, but I don't need to grow, I'm like, imagine if the CEO of LinkedIn said that. QuickBooks, for example.
Yeah. We
We don't need to grow.
Yeah.
Like we'll keep it chill this year.
Yeah.
Whatever. Or because I personally don't need it, because my paycheck doesn't need it.
Right.
It's their job. It doesn't matter about their paycheck and what they don't need.
Well, I got to the, maybe this is a little toxic, but I got to the point of like, okay, it's not about you.
That's what I'm saying. I'm
it's
like,
not about you.
You're a contract. The way I look at it is I'm a contracted CEO, as if I were hired to be a CEO for a company.
Yeah.
And if I as a CEO sat down with my board and was like, my paycheck's good either way, that would be crazy. I would get fired.
The shareholders will be up in arms.
I would get fired. And so like, that's honestly how I look at it. Whenever people are like, why do I need to go to the end? Why do I need to make more money? I'm like, because it's your literal job.
Right.
And I think that has actually helped me neutralize work a lot. And that is honestly one of my biggest secrets to like no burnout is it's just a job.
Yeah.
You have to do it for 9 to 5.
This relates to my philosophy that, your business don't make your business responsible for your personal goals.
Yeah.
Meaning like, don't just say, I'll just earn the money to buy the house, or like take money out of the business to do personal things. And very similar, because the pushback I get is like, well, then why would I have started this business?
Yeah.
It is for me.
Yeah.
Right. And, or like, why would I have started this business if it's not exactly what I want every single day? And my response is always like, you'll ruin your business that way.
Yeah.
You will actually, by making your business responsible for your personal goals, or by saying this is responsible for my entire happiness, you will make decisions in the business that really put it in a bad position.
Also.
And the business is a separate entity from you. So you have to maintain the business's health, just like you have to maintain your health.
Yes. And I'm like, this is exactly why you burned out and wanted a business in the first place.
Right.
Because you made work about your happiness and you attached it to your happiness. I'm like, whenever people tell me that, why would I have a business in the first place? I'm like, oh, because you never solved your burnout in your 9 to 5. And so that's why you even started a business. And now you want it to make you happy. I'm like, that's just like, you're just going to burn out again. Literally. Yeah. That's always what it is. Whenever people say that, I'm like, you only want this business to make you happy because you thought the job before could or couldn't, and it can't. You can always be unhappy, even with a great business.
Uh-oh. Am I going to get canceled?
Oh gosh.
Is it similar to when people have babies to make them happy?
Ooh.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, am I going to get canceled?
Didn't expect us to go here.
Well, because a lot of people call their business their baby.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, yeah, things can happen.
Okay, so Kirsten, what's supposed to make you happy?
That's a really good question. You have to, I feel like with work, you have to start with neutralizing it for it to actually make you happy. Like you are not as happy as you think doing whatever you want. Because those same people that are like, I built my business to be free, this and that, they're also coming to me and being like, I have so many calls and I could never walk away from it. And I am making good money, but not as much as I would want. Like people are never as happy as they're like saying they are in their happy, free business. Yeah. And so there's that. And so I'm always like, once you neutralize work, you actually find, what are you thinking?
No, I'm just thinking about like a bridge, right? So if I'm like super unhappy, anxious, burnt out, and I want to go to happy.
Yeah.
Let's say I was super unhappy, anxious, burnt out in a 9 to 5. And I want to jump to happiness by having a business. In order to get to happiness, you have to go through neutrality.
Yep. Like
you don't just jump. That's again, it's like skipping
you
steps.
You have to make everything that you think is making you unhappy not a problem.
But if you just think about it as a spectrum, right? Like happy face over here, sad face over here. You have to go through. You can't jump over.
No.
And it's similar to skipping the steps, right?
And you can't change.
Say that again.
And you can't change or take away.
The business?
Like, yeah, right. Like, oh, I'm going to change. I'm just going to like change the marriage or change the circumstances. Like I'm going to have a baby or I'm going to change where I live or I'm going to change my job or I'm going to you can't change or take away. You have to literally neutralize everything. Yeah.
It's hard.
In order to actually be happy.
How many girlies like up and move to Europe because it's like, I'm going to be happy in Europe.
Right. And then they're like, oh,
I'm still myself in Europe.
I'm still myself in Europe.
Just like I'm still myself in my business.
Exactly.
Oof.
Yeah, you can't take away or change. And that's what people don't realize is like, it's not going to make you, whenever you want to make an extreme change for happiness, I'm like, ooh, that's burnout brain.
Yeah.
Because burnout brain will always tell you to burn something down, but it never feels good to like be in that heat.
Yeah.
If you will.
No.
Not long term.
No.
It could be short term.
Yeah.
So good. Speaking of parenting and stuff, because you mentioned like having a baby, since you brought that up. I want to know, because I know my audience would love to know, like, did you ever experience any mom guilt at that time? Like while you're building your business, you have this newborn baby, any mom guilt, anything come up?
Nope.
Tell me more.
I'm like, honestly, I've had people ask me this before and I'm always like, sorry for the disappointment, but no.
Yeah.
I never had mom guilt. Because my baby was strapped to me.
Yeah.
Actually, this comes back to the coaching I received from you. So I did one-on-one coaching starting October 2021. Mm-hmm. And I was like, Kirsten, I have a baby. What am I supposed to do? And you're like, hold the baby.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't have childcare. It's the pandemic. The daycares are closed. What do I do?
Yeah.
What if the baby has a poopy diaper? You said, change the diaper.
Yeah.
And I did. I have changed a poopy diaper on a one-on-one call.
Sure have.
I have nursed on a one-on-one call. Mm-hmm. In fact, I made I scrolled back the other day, like way back. I found a reel of me where it was me nursing my daughter and saying like, if you want to know what it's like to work with me, this is it.
Yeah.
And like, this is what it's like. I might be nursing on our call.
Yeah.
I got coached from you around professionalism. Like, no one's expecting you to pretend like you don't have a child.
Right.
Or if the child is crying in the background, no one's expecting you to pretend like it's not actually happening.
Yeah.
And my husband helped a lot. We tried to coordinate schedules as much as we could, but there were times where I would have the baby. And so like that, just like, I think mom guilt could happen if you think I have to be professional and I have to choose. That's what it is. Mom guilt can happen where you say, I have to either choose between attending to my child or, and I never had, I think I just took the coaching. Going back to, I trusted you. Maybe it was a little uncomfortable the first couple times. It definitely was, but I just took the coaching and I went with it. Our daughter was at home with us for 14 months before we put her in daycare. And I'm like, I'm so happy we had those years, like that whole year together. We had so much quality time. I think a mom guilt did creep up a little bit, maybe in my 500K year, came later, which is interesting. I said once on a coaching call, I feel like a part-time parent because of daycare and having her in daycare full time. Oh, because one of my coaches told me to get a nanny for something. And I'm like, I'm already a part-time parent. Yeah. But that resolved. I don't know. That was just a moment. Yeah. So no, I don't think I've ever had intense mom guilt because I've never thought I had to choose.
Yeah. Any partner guilt?
No.
So good. Your face, you're like, no. I love it because I want people to hear this.
I am at home with my husband Monday through Sunday, 24. We are together. Yeah. He works from home too. So we are always together. Now, I will say, I have promised my husband to go on more breakfast dates. And I have not been very good at keeping those. So I'm working on keeping those commitments as well. But I don't think that's guilt. That's just marriage.
Yeah.
That's just like, oh, I have some goals in my marriage.
This is so good. This is so good because I feel like you've done such a good job at separating like, this isn't a business thing.
Yeah.
Like that's because
I would have that with a job.
That's the thing is I feel like I asked that question because a lot of people will be like, my business is hurting my marriage or my business is hurting my relationship with I need to build my business around my relationship with others, whether it's my kids or my partner or whatever. And I feel like you're really good at like, I feel like, you're going to have goals in your marriage to like reach out more, but I don't need to design my whole
business around
also,
my business is already designed like well for that, right? Like we're working from home together. Yeah. We have childcare. Yeah. We go on date. Like we have the money to do things. So I'm like, having a job would be way harder than this.
Yeah. So good.
Yeah.
So good.
It's on my and I think this comes back to like, I teach the same thing with financial separation. So like, of course you want to have separate business bank accounts and all of that, but you also want to have, I'm the CEO of a company and it's my job to make financial decisions on behalf of this company and it's separate from me. And then I earn a paycheck from that company for my work, for my job. And then I can deal with that paycheck however I want in my personal finances. And I think I've had such a clear separation since day one. I formed an LLC and got a bank account before I got a client. I always had financial separation. And so I think like it's logical to me to always separate those things out. Yeah. And I know that some people have to go through that learning curve of it used to be all commingled, even if it's not actually commingled, it's commingled in your mind as like, I am the business and the business is me and it's all encompassing. No, it's not.
And like commingling it is actually hurting everything. Yeah. Instead of separating it
even
out.
Just like when I go on vacation, Slack and Gmail get deleted from my phone. Because nothing's that important that it can't wait until I get back. Yeah. Right. Like, and if I were at QuickBooks still working at QuickBooks, I would have an out of office that would let people know who to speak to, or this is the date I'll be back and I'll get to you. And I think like all those little practices, I really am treating my business like a job. Yeah. And I'm like good at this job and it's an important job, but it is a job. It is not my life.
Yeah. On the topic of finances and marriage, how has things changed financially for you all, if at all, as you scale? Because now you got this big old business.
Oh my God, that's so funny. Okay.
Like, how has it changed?
So when I was just starting one-on-one coaching again, and we were living in the loft in Emeryville, I would always tell my husband, honey, I signed another client. Like I would be so excited. And at the time I was charging $3,500 for 3 months. Yep. I was so excited. And he would say, can we buy the station wagon yet? And the station wagon is the Mercedes E63 station wagon. It was my husband's dream car for a long time. So he would always say, can we buy the station wagon yet? And I'd say, not yet. And we bought the station wagon. And even to this day, I still tell him every time I make a sale, I'd be like, honey, I closed $21,000 today. And he'll still say, can we buy the station wagon yet? I'm like, honey, we actually already sold it and moved on to the next station wagon. So I think it hasn't changed much. It's just been, we've definitely like upped the lavishness of our lifestyle. Going back to making $1 million, why do you want to make $1 million? And you have to like really root it in, I really rooted it in client results. But by the end of my $1 million year, I was like, oh wait, this is fun. It's really fun to have a lot of money. Yeah. Because I've always been, I talk about there's assets rich and there's cash flow rich. And most business owners they start with cash flow rich, then they become assets rich, then they become like legacy rich. I started at assets rich and cash flow poor. Yeah. Opposite. And so it's really fun to be cash flow rich.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like
for sure.
We went to New York for the Christmas time and did like Christmas in the city. And I have all these points. I have a credit card points consultant I'm working with who helps me book all these crazy like flights and hotels. And I've gotten into collecting Schiaparelli, which is insane. And it's like been fun.
Nara Smith liked your TikTok.
Oh my God. Nara Smith liked my TikTok. Meanwhile, this TikTok had 800 views and like 30 likes. It's not a viral TikTok. So good. I become a fashion girly. So I've also been like enjoying it. And I think my husband's been enjoying the fruits of that labor too. Yeah. Right. Like we've been enjoying it together. Yeah. And like we bought a crazy supercar. Like we've just been having fun.
I love that for you, especially because when you have those moments of apathy, I love the idea of like, okay, yes, I'm assets rich, but what could I do if I were cash flow rich right now? Yeah. What could I do with an extra 20,000? Right. That's like your next and also like mindset.
I think that I've been assets rich, but not enough. Yeah. And like I have bigger ambitions than just settling for an inheritance I got once. Like, I think that a lot of multi-generational money kids, right? Like where I got money from my grandparents or my parents and it's passed down, a lot of those kids become apathetic. Yeah. And through no fault of their own, I think it's like when you have everything, that you need. Yeah. I have everything that I need, but do I have everything that I want? Yeah. And, I've been thinking about this a lot and I don't know how to talk about it yet, but we'll try. In old money families, and I'm not an old money family by any means, not like East Coast old money, but in old money families, the MO is hide your wealth because you don't want to be a target. You don't want anybody to know and you want to preserve because once you're in multiple generations of generational wealth, you're in preservation mode. The person who generated the wealth is dead. Yeah. So the family's constantly in preservation. And, again, my family's not old money like that, but I do see how it's been taught to preserve. Like even my mom's very thrifty and like there's nothing wrong with all of that. But I realize like, no, I don't want to just preserve. I want to grow beyond what I was given and hit milestones that my family never hit. And so it's like that ambition is still there. Yeah. Even if I already started with a leg up. Just like a lot of people who say, I want better than my parents. I want to be able to buy my mom a house. I want to be able to pay for my kids or for my nephew's schooling, whatever. Like I also have those ambitions, even though I started a little higher up. Yeah. And I think like I didn't have to have those ambitions, but I do. And it's just like, it's here. So
yeah. Oh my goodness. So good. Can we do a quick logistical breakdown of your $1 million year in terms of who was on your team and what was your like key marketing strategy? Yeah. For those that kind of want that side of it. Okay, give me like the breakdown.
2 co-coaches doing 40 hours a month total across the 2 of them, an OBM, doing 40 hours a month. An EA doing 5 hours a month. She's very low, but she's not really a business expense. She's more like, she does my doctor's appointments and like finds me lawyers and stuff like that. Okay. A design team. They are an agency. So it's like, I don't even know how many hours a month. It doesn't matter. They do all our designs.
Yeah. I think that's it.
Podcast on and off.
Oh yeah. Podcast on
here
and off.
in this beautiful studio.
Yeah.
But not throughout the entire year. What else? That was it. Coaches.
I think that's it. Coaches.
Yeah.
Incredible.
So like 4 people.
No employees.
No employees. I only just became an employee. So not even me. I wasn't even an employee yet.
Lean team of just contractors. And then tell us about marketing.
Yeah. So I did 5 launches last year, and I did 5 launches the year before, 2 of my mastermind, 3 of my group. I failed a lot with my group. I succeeded a lot with my mastermind while failing a lot with my group. Tested a lot of things. We changed the name of my group halfway through the year. We changed the name of my podcast halfway through the year. And did those launches. By the end of the year, I wasn't at my goal yet. And I decided to go back to that mastermind that I originally bought, that ads mastermind. And I set up like a Russell Brunson funnel, meaning it was an ad, a simple ad to a webinar. I did 1 webinar a week. And that was like the last 6 weeks of the year. I did 6 webinars at the end of the year to like fill in some of the revenue gap. And that really helped. And I've still continued to do that now. But yeah, 5 launches.
5 launches.
A lot of email.
I was going to say, and the key marketing strategy was email marketing as the backbone. And then you had other things going as well. Yeah. So
I would say
good.
social media, to the point of like social media optional. Social media was not driving my sales.
Yeah.
It was there.
Yeah.
Like creating I would say social media is more for awareness content at this point or like nurture content. It's not for conversion content as much anymore. A little bit, but not the driver.
To someone from the outside looking in, they might look at your social media or your emails or just your business overall if they're following you a lot. I mean, like, oh my goodness, like I said at the beginning, like she's so on it and there's so much that she's doing.
Talk to Kate, my EA, and she will clean you up. I'm not on it. Kate is constantly like, Gina.
She's so on it. There's so much she's doing.
Yeah.
And it's like, how did you do all of that without burning out?
I don't know. Like I've said, I think I went into a black hole or something. I don't know. There have been periods of overwhelm.
Yeah.
I did back-to-back launches last year, March and then April. And by the end of that, I was like shaky. Like, oh, I did too much, too close together. And going back to, it's not effort. It's how did you say it?
It's effort versus exhaustion.
Right. It was that our SOPs weren't tight enough and my OBM, like we were dropping balls. So it wasn't even that it was back to back. It was that like, oh, our systems weren't tight enough to accomplish a back-to-back launch like that. So we learned a lot. But there were moments of like, ooh, that was overwhelming.
Yeah.
But burnout, there was a little bit of disengagement in the summer. We had an intervention.
Yeah. I was like, we had
an intervention in August and you came to my house and we're like, okay, what's all the things? And, but I think that was like early signs of me being like, I don't want to launch for the summer. I just want to go to Europe. I just want to put me on a plane and I'll feel happier somewhere else.
Yeah.
But that was, I think, just because the problem was our systems weren't tight enough for back-to-back launches.
What you just said is exactly it in terms of whenever they spiral into the burnout or they're like, I don't want to burn out again. Usually all that happened is that things got a little spicy.
Yeah.
They felt a big emotion of overwhelm.
Yeah.
And they were like, I never want to feel that again.
Right.
And then they leave it at that.
Right.
And like, that's the burnout.
Yeah.
And I think what you did really well, and you just like laid it out without even realizing it, is you were able to neutralize and be like, it's not the work or the business. Like, it's not the workload.
Yeah.
It's the workflow.
Yeah. 100%.
And like, that's it.
Yeah.
Right. And so many people go workload. So many people go workload. And I'm like, you got to go workflow. Like, it's always there's so many people in this world that you can use it as an example for having a heavy workload, but it doesn't feel heavy to them. because of their workflow. And so I think honestly, that's what, you had a few spicy moments, and I think you've done a very good job at not being afraid. And you mentioned this earlier too, not being afraid to feel an emotion, like you're probably going to get overwhelmed again.
Yeah.
You're probably going to get disengage again. Something I actually say in my programs is I'm like, disengagement is actually normal. It's the brain cleaning out.
Yeah.
Like that's normal.
Yeah.
But like, it's knowing how to not turn it into burnout, like full on.
Yeah.
I'm now done. Like, completely exhausted. Yeah. And so I think that's honestly what it was for you.
The other thing too, in that back-to-back launch period, my OBM was really burnt out after that. And I could tell she's really good at keeping things close to her chest. Like she's not an oversharer. She's not trauma dumping on me. Yeah. But I could tell she was overwhelmed, but I didn't even make that mean I should never do it again. I was like, okay, that was a lot for me. That was a lot for her.
Yeah.
But if we do a back-to-back launch, like we're going to probably do a back-to-back launch again.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to protect her feelings either. I'm trying to say, okay, OBM, where were the balls dropped? And we had a meeting and we fixed the SOP.
Right. We clearly need to fix how we're doing something. Yeah. Rather than let's just stop doing it.
Right. And so to that point, I think like a lot of people also going back to mothering their team would be like, oh, that was too much for my OBM, or my OBM can't handle that. I need a new OBM.
Yeah.
No. We just needed to clean up the SOP.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. And also like maybe practice, because the first time you do something, it's probably going to be not that great.
Yeah. And it just, for me, it just all goes back to if you weren't scared to be overwhelmed.
Yeah.
If you weren't scared to have a problem that feels bad, that you have it, like, what would you do? You're going to risk not making so much more money than you could.
Because of a feeling. Because of a feeling.
And I get dramatic. You know I do. I get dramatic. I'm like, worst case scenario, you're going to get a little red in the face. You're going to get a little shaky. Yeah. Like that's the worst. And you're not going to make $1 million because of that. Because you're going to blush. Are you out of your mind?
That does sound insane.
Are you out of your mind?
But feelings are really strong. Feelings are really strong.
Listen, not from me. Money is stronger.
I will say my mom's I know you don't do all the astrology. My mom's a Cancer, which means she's very emotional. And even if forget the astrology, she's an emotional person. And I was hanging out with her the other day and I'm like, Mom, I think I feel only 1/10 of the feelings you feel. I think maybe I'm discounting myself, but I'm like, I just don't think I feel that deeply. Yeah. So I'll put that there too. I'm like, maybe I just don't feel that deeply.
And I actually do. I'm like a big emotional girl.
Big feeler.
Yeah, I'm a big feeler.
Big tears.
Yeah, people don't realize I'm a crier. Like I'm a big feeler, but I'm like, I'm feeling, and it will always be worth it to feel. I have a friend who one day, she was crying so much. I mean, crying. Yeah. And the reason why I'm like laughing is because most people would be like, I don't want to be your friend, Kirsten. She was crying. And I like zoom out in the moment and I'm looking, we're in her beautiful apartment.
I know this story.
Beautiful apartment. Like 360 views of the city.
Yeah.
And I look at her and I go, oh, to cry in this apartment. Am I right? And she was like, you know what? You're right. I was like, to cry here? I said, you should be happy. You're crying. You're wiping your tears with I'm like, oh my goodness, to cry in this environment. Yeah. And she immediately was like, you're right. Like, cause she was blaming her business. She was like, this is why I don't want a business. And I said, this business has you crying in this apartment. Yeah. I would rather be crying here than anywhere else.
So to your point, like, okay, I'm either going to cry in the penthouse. That's what and a job's still going to make me cry.
Everything's going to make you cry. You're going to
feel. Are not going to go away because you change. Your feelings are going to be the same.
You're a human. So like, you're not going to stop trying to change your experience. Like you are going to, I would rather cry. And it's not even just like the material. I know we're talking about the material things, but like, it's not even that. It's just like, I would rather cry because I am like living to my full potential. Yeah. And I'm pushing myself to that than cry because I'm not. And you will cry either way.
I also, to that point of the full potential, like I always knew I was going to live an extraordinary life.
Yeah.
And this is it's so bro-y, but like, yeah, if you want to have an extraordinary life, you have to do extraordinary things.
Yeah. Yeah. And you're going to have to feel big extraordinary feelings.
Extraordinary. And like, you don't have to go 0 to 100.
Yep.
And I think that's going slow to go fast, right?
Yep.
If you go fast, you're going to be overwhelmed by that feeling. You have to like learn how to feel progressively more.
Yes.
And, but yeah, like I'm willing to do that because I want to live an extraordinary life.
That is very true. Someone had told me this and I put it into like a circle, and it was like scaling is all about feeling a really big emotion, telling yourself you're safe, and then taking the action.
Yeah.
Really big emotion, telling yourself you're safe, taking the action. Yeah. Literally, you just have to tell yourself, I'm okay. Yeah. It's okay that I'm feeling spicy right now. It's okay that I'm overwhelmed right now. It's okay that my OBM's a little burned out right now. We will figure it out. We are okay.
Yeah.
Next action.
Right.
That is honestly, I think, like the secret to scaling.
Yeah.
If you can just do that.
100%.
And like the secret to scaling with your nervous system intact, because I'm just like looking at you and I'm like, $1 million, like mental health is like intact.
Yeah.
Nervous system is regulated.
Yeah.
And like for us, that's very normal because we're in this side of the world.
Yeah.
The, our side of the internet. Because we learned how. But this is actually very unusual.
I guess so.
Yeah, it's a very big deal.
I'm not taking any drugs. I'm not on Adderall. And to be clear, for the people on Adderall who have prescriptions, I mean, unprescribed.
Yeah.
I'm not taking any drugs to accomplish this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
we're chill.
You're chill. It's amazing.
I'm going out of office for 4 weeks this summer. Actually, more than that.
Amazing.
Yeah. It's going to be fine.
Amazing. Is there anything, last thing that you want to say to people about $1 million year? Even if it's just to celebrate.
I'm very proud of myself. I think, like my husband always says like, cause I look up to my dad a lot. Yeah. And he goes, Gina, your dad didn't make this much money.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, well.
And her dad was a lawyer, for those who don't know.
A lawyer, very fancy lawyer, lawyer of the year in California. 4 times. Like I feel like these are my go years, and maybe it'll change. Like maybe my ambition will change, or maybe I'll want to do something else or be an artist or whatever. But like, I'm like really happy to be in my go years right now.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Go years.
Yeah. These are just my go years.
Like, why would we not want to have a go year?
Yeah. And I had ungo year. Like when I was in college, I was like, I'm going to be a stay-at-home mom. That was my level of ambition. It's
really breaking my brain. Like that one thing, I just want to sit with that for a minute, because so much of my work with people that are burned out or scared of burnout because they've burned out before, so much of it is like, it's okay to work. And it's really healing, and it's healing their relationship to ambition.
Yeah.
And what you just said is so big, where it's like, these are our go years.
Yeah. And it's okay if your go years aren't in your 20s or in your 30s. Like it doesn't have to be at a specific time in your life. Right. It's just for me right now, I can feel it. These are my go years. So I'm going to go.
Exactly. And that's beautiful. And it's like,
and we hear stories of like Vera Wang made her first wedding dress at 42.
Incredible.
So those were her go years, right? Like it doesn't have to, I really am not trying to prescribe a specific timeline, but I am just saying like, this is my time. So I'm going to do it.
But I like that you said that, because to your point, you can literally, no matter how old you are, where you at in your life, you can say that to yourself right now.
Yeah.
You could literally be like, oh, I'm going to be in my go years.
Yeah.
Like, I'm excited.
Yeah.
And it's so true. These are our go years.
Yeah.
And like whatever years you're in, like those are this right now. If you're listening to a podcast like this, you are probably in your go years.
Yeah.
Like,
yes. And being surrounded by other people in their go years, right? Being surrounded by other, like, I think that's one other big thing. Having a community, like your board, having your board of directors hold you down or tell you the truth. We've talked a lot about that in the past on other podcasts. Have friends that tell you the truth.
Yeah.
Don't surround yourself with yes people. Have other people in their go years, because it also does get lonelier at the top. I think that's a cliche, but it's a cliche for a reason. There's fewer people who can empathize, and I understand why.
Yeah.
Like I'll tell a friend, oh, I had a failed launch. I made $200K. And it sounds so stupid. It sounds so out of touch. So you do have to surround yourself with other people who are like, they can get it.
Yeah.
They can get why you may be feeling incredibly overwhelmed or disappointed while having a crazy, insane circumstance. But yeah. Have good friends.
So beautiful.
Yeah.
So good. I'm so honored to have been a small part of your journey.
Not small.
So thankful.
Not small.
So thankful. I'm like, we could keep going all day.
Know.
We can keep going all day.
We got to get out of here.
I know. I'm like, we got to get out. But thank you so much. Thank you so much for sharing your experience, and tell people where they can find you.
www.ginaknox.co or at Gina Knox. Anywhere Gina Knox, just Google it. I'm on Google.
Yeah. And I have to say, like, I have learned so much from you as you, like, we've swapped services, if you will, not literally, but like I've joined your offers, you've joined mine. And like, I have learned so much from Gina. Gina is like life-changing information. My husband also loves Gina. Literally heard one presentation from her. I have not heard. And by the way, no. By the way, we both did presentations on the same day. And my husband was like, Gina, and I was like, what about mine? And he was like, okay, email as always. And I was like, he loved Gina's presentation.
It was new information for him.
He loved it.
He also works from home. You guys hear each other all day.
We ended up having a dinner party like that week. He was quoting Gina. He's like, so here's what Gina says.
I love Danny.
We were like talking about financial stuff. And I'm like, I can't. Like, this is so everybody loves Gina. You're so good at what you do. And like, no wonder why. I think also we can't downplay like the level of expertise and excellence that you have to be in order to generate $1 million too. Yeah. Like, you can't do it.
You can't fake it.
You can't fake it.
No. Some people can, but you can like do it maybe once.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Right. If that.
Yeah. Barely.
Or without getting dragged.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
well, thank
so
you
proud
for
of
being
you.
my coach.
Yeah. So proud of you.
You were my best investment.
Oh, don't make me cry. Very proud of you.